Alexi Meelan here. This is my little recap in my little chair. We'll do a quick little inception. Ready? 3, 2. Hi, Avery.
Little chairs, big view.
We are at Otter Classic in Monterey, California for the first stop of the Lifetime Grand Prix. Going into Otter, I'm quite nervous. I feel like I started the Grand Prix on the back foot last year. Could never pinpoint what exactly went wrong, but Otter wasn't my day. Just never found the right mentality and suffered through the whole day to finish, 27th or something like that. We come back to Otter looking for redemption. Otter is one of my favorite places because it's exciting that we get to race and it's the beginning of a new season, but it's also the place that all the new tech comes out. It's exciting for consumers. Everyone's just wandering around aimlessly.
That creates so much desire, envy, and so much jealousy, so much FOMO, so much relative deprivation, so much grass is greener. My life not being good enough. It's not real. I know it's not real, but this bike is real and I want it.
And it's the biggest bike friend circus around. So going in the Fuego XL this year, it was the first stop of Lifetime Grand Prix. I definitely felt a lot of pressure, but focused on just executing the plan that I had coming in. It was a 9 a.m. race start, which meant not too crazy early. We're up around 5:30, as much as rice and eggs as I could eat.
Don't you love this sport?
And got to the race start about an hour and a half before we kicked off. I'm a bit of a creature of habit. Last year we tried the rollers out. Not the roller's fault, but it didn't work out. And so this year I kind of just joined in the washing machine that was everyone warming up the track. And so went and did my own little focus warm up for 25 minutes, said hi to some friends, said good luck, and just had a time that I knew I wanted to get to the start line and to get ready to line up. So this year I kind of broke Otter up into 4 or 5 segments. The first being the whole shot into the corner from the race-wide track on asphalt into the single track trail that we entered about half mile into the course. I knew I needed to be top 5 into that pinch point, and whatever I had to do to get there, that was the entire goal for the race. Otherwise, I had kind of set this idea in my mind that was race over. I went in second behind Keegan, and from there just kind of focused on executing the technical skills I knew I had to focus on. The first part of Otter is not technical, but a lot of twisty turns, people jumping through corners, grassy shortcuts, muddy sections, and when everyone's that close in the beginning, it's easy to lose spots that are needless. And so until we had a first big opening point, I focused on just the wheel ahead of me, not losing the wheel, paying attention, and just being present in the moment. And the minute we got through that first section, the next focus was on, okay, what do I need to eat, what do I need to drink before we enter single track again. So after getting through the first portion of the race, focused on the second segment, which was, okay, who's around me, who's here? Every race has a portion of people who just don't make it through the start, whether it's flatting, crashing, some bad luck of some kind. And so took note of who was there and then got back to the job at hand, which was I want to position myself into every pinch point we go into for the next 3.5 hours of racing in the top 5. Becomes a mental thing for myself as well as others. It's a bit of a hierarchy as the race goes on. And you also can convince yourself that you deserve to be there, which is sometimes hard for me in mountain bike races. As the race went on, I knew more and more that this was my race to affect or not affect. And I tried to position myself in a place that could have an impact on the race at the end. Coming into the finale of the first lap, we had probably a group of 12 to 13 max. I kind of thought maybe I'll go to the front and put a little pressure on and see how people are feeling.
Race update, Alexi is leading the group up the final climb of lap 1 about to head into lap 2. I'm gonna jet down to that feed zone again. I looked at Alexi, I waved him a bottle. He just looked at me and went, he doesn't need nothing. Nothing.
Wasn't much of a goal there other than continue to keep the pace high. A hard race is a good race for me, and focus on that mindset of like, this is my race to take into my own hands or lose by my own decisions. And managed to hit all my feeds well and kind of roll into the second lap as focused as I had been in the first, which was awesome. A lot of these races over 4 hours, it gets hard to continually have the mental focus all day as well as the physical readiness. And so as the day went on, that was something I kept focusing on. Okay, have I eaten all my gels? Have I focused on all the bottles I need to drink? Where are things gonna go wrong? What was hard for me last lap is only gonna be harder now that I'm tired. And so I just kept ticking off those boxes. As we came into about half a lap to go, you could tell people were getting itchy. They're ready for the race finale to start. We came into this sandy climb and I knew that was the next pinch point for me. I fought for the same positioning we had the time before, which was Keegan and Matt in front of me and myself in third. And it comes fast and heavy. And by the time we get there the second time, there's other people racing, they're finishing their race. It's chaotic. I made was maybe the first big mistake of the race. It was just deciding or letting Keegan take the single track on the way in. I thought I could hang on to him, but he started opening a small gap on the way down, and that only grew the entire way the rest of the race. Less than 5 miles to go. I asked Matt if he wanted to pass me. He said yes, and to my surprise and enjoyment, he did not pull away from me very far. So I just focused on staying as close as I could to Matt on the way up when I was suffering. The minute you pop out of the single track climb, it becomes this wide open ridge that I think has become known as the view of Sea Otter. It's a super rocky and steep ridge that climbs up with nothing on the other side than valleys and greenery. It's fun when you're feeling good. It sucks when you're not, and you're just biting your stem. And that was kind of the way that I think everyone was going up it. I'm just looking ahead of me, watching Keegan's white and pink jersey kind of float away, occasionally taking peeks behind me, but trying to focus on the race ahead. You don't know who's going to come from behind you. You don't know who's going to suffer. And so I just kept telling myself, okay, you can still win this, you can still win this. Becomes harder and harder to believe the closer you get to the finish line.
As you can tell, I can barely breathe right now. Because I won't mention the company, but they told me no on getting an e-bike this morning. So I'm on Alexi's old piece of junk acoustic bike. Okay, Alexi looked great in the front group. The only thing that stands between me and the finish line is about a, 600-foot climb. So I'll report in later. I just want everyone to know that even if it's a shitty shot, it still took me lugging 40 pounds of camera gear on my back alone. Granted, it's beautiful out here.
As we came over the top, I kind of realized Keegan was gone, but also that I had the gap on Matt that I needed. At some point in the last kilometer, focused on just not crashing, because that just ends a fun day pretty quickly. I managed to come across the finish line in second, which is something I never would have ever expected. Came into this race hoping on a prayer for a top 5, to put myself up well for the Grand Prix. And second kind of blows my mind.
First proper mountain bike race I think I've ever executed well.
Good to see you out there.
Lost a couple bottles, crashed once, but otherwise flawless. That was a sufferfest, man.
There's so many guys I could count through that are proper mountain bikers that I would put above myself to be on the podium at Sea Otter. And it's one of the ways I never thought I would start the year. But now it feels like we're on the right foot, and hopefully we keep climbing as opposed to sliding back down. So now that stop 1 of 7, or 6 for me, is done, I get to refocus on goals ahead, and I have until beginning of July until I race a Grand Prix event again. My brother's getting married over Unbound, so that will be one of my forced drop races this year. And so I have until Crusher to focus up on being as ready as I can and hopefully putting some pressure on Keegan.
Hello. Reporting live from Boulder, Colorado. This is meant to be done in Monterey, and was done in Monterey, but we've misplaced a camera. And so in the name of getting this video done on time, here's my second place Sea Otter Classic bike check. This is my very special factor lane and full suspension frame. Set up 100-100 with the new Fox 32 step cast fork. As it sits, 21.5 pounds with power meter, dropper, pedals, and head unit. On it are new NV cross-country wheels that I've been testing as part of the Dark 6 program since Leadville last year. Full Shimano drivetrain, 36-1051 in the back with a NV M5 cockpit in the front. Other notable features, Silka cage, Stage's power meter, and a little plug in case we have any issues. Orange seal on the tires. I ran 2.2 Kenda Rush TR tires, a little bit narrow, but kind of wanted to risk it for the biscuit and have a little bit of advantage over some of the guys. That is my bike at Sea Otter. Took me to second place, and hopefully next year one step better.
It's true. I lost a camera. With most, I would say, of the meat and potatoes of the story of what we were actually doing at Sea Otter. That's why this video is mostly a race recap. But we move on, we try again. BWR is a new race and a lot more coming soon.
Look at Willie's ears.